Generating traffic and sales can be a challenge for online merchants. But selling on the Walmart Marketplace puts your products in front of millions of customers who shop on Walmart.com. And right now, sellers who join Walmart Marketplace can save up to 50% on referral and fulfillment fees for the first 90 days. So get started today. Head over to marketplace.walmart.com/savings. That's marketplace.walmart.com/savings.
Merchant Talk by Practical Ecommerce is a weekly conversation with e-commerce merchants addressing the history of their business and its current state of operations.
This is Kerry Murdock with Practical Ecommerce. We welcome Cynthia Snyder to our inaugural broadcast of Merchant Talk, which is our weekly discussion with an actual e-commerce merchant. Cynthia's e-commerce site is YonderStar.com. Well, Cynthia, thank you for your time today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Cynthia, you're a seasoned e-commerce merchant. Tell us a little bit about your site. What's your URL? What do you sell? When did you launch your site?
Okay. Our site is Yonder Star Christmas Shop. Our URL is www.yonderstar.com. We launched Yonder Star in 2000. We specialize in nativity scenes. We are a Christmas shop, as is probably evident by our name. We specialize in nativity scenes. We do offer other Christmas-themed items, such as advent calendars and tree toppers, that sort of thing. But nativity scenes are our primary focus. We really do have the largest and most extensive collection of nativity scenes offered on the web.
Interesting. How did you get interested in e-commerce? So 2000, that was pretty darn early.
Right.
E-commerce.
Right. It's funny. We actually started our e-commerce site with the thoughts of having it as a springboard toward a brick and mortar Christmas shop. We figured an e-commerce site would be a good way for us to get our feet wet with the product and hopefully build up a little bit of a customer base, and then move on to a brick-and-mortar shop. However, with the popularity of shopping online, more folks getting comfortable shopping online, we've been fortunate that Yonder Star has continued to grow over the years and has really kept us all quite busy. And we had determined just to put all of our energies into the e-commerce site. So while it had originally started as something that we thought would just be a little bit of a springboard step, it really turned into our primary focus.
We hear that so often, Cynthia, that business starts small, and then especially e-commerce, and merchants just kind of stick with it, and it continues to grow. That's really exciting. To help our listeners understand a little bit about your about the size of your business, can you tell us perhaps maybe how many SKUs you have, SKUs you have, or maybe your gross revenue size?
We stock somewhere in the area of 2,500 SKUs. We are seasonal, so that does fluctuate. Obviously, in the Christmas season, that tops out around 2,500, and then dips lower in the springtime. We do a good amount of drop shipping in addition to what we stock, but our primary focus is in with what we stock. We're expecting to top $500,000 in annual sales this year. So we've been happy with the growth.
That's really impressive for a seasonal business that way.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit, Cynthia, if you would. Our listeners, of course, are other e-commerce merchants such as yourself. Tell us a little bit about the back end of your business in terms of the shopping cart, your order management system, accounting, email, etc. What drives your e-commerce site?
Gotcha. We started out through Yahoo Store. I believe now they're called Yahoo Merchant Solutions. We've really stuck with Yahoo throughout the whole time. Back in 2000, really, unless you were very a techie, very technically savvy, Yahoo was really the only game in town at that point in time to offer the whole package as far as just being able to set up your e-commerce site with some help, as I said, unless you were a super techie. So at that point in time, there was not a very hard decision with us what to go with, because Yahoo was really all there was. And we, as it turns out, have really been happy with Yahoo all of these years. They have had some changes along the way, but the bare bones of our store is Yahoo. We do use Yahoo's shopping cart. We implement some of our own CSS and JavaScript just to tweak our site a little bit here and there. But for the most part, we really stick with the bare bones of Yahoo.
Do you use a third-party order management system by chance?
We do not. We handle all of that ourselves. We also work with QuickBooks for our accounting software, so we bring everything from Yahoo over to QuickBooks and handle that way as far as the accounting process goes.
How do you link those two? Is that an export out of Yahoo and an import into QuickBooks? Is that
right. Yes, there's a little bit of a step. Yahoo did once upon a time make that very easy, and then they have cut that out. So there is a little bit of a manual step that we do through Excel to just change the information from how Yahoo wants to send it into how QuickBooks wants to see it. But there's a little bit of workings in between. But then we're able to just upload that in.
That makes sense. How do you market your site?
We market our site through several different avenues, although primarily it's all online marketing. We use Google AdWords. We submit a fair amount of our products into BizRate, also is known as Shopzilla. We upload to Yahoo Product Submit. We, as most e-commerce sites are very focused on our search engine optimization, so we really have a lot of time spent with that, trying to make sure that for all of our primary keywords that we're coming up well with the primary search engines. And also email. We find that keeping good email communication with our customers is really helpful for our business. We're currently using RatePoint, although we do tend to shop around and typically switch every few years, I would say, with email marketing services.
Right now you're using RatePoint?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. Do you do the SEO and pay-per-click work yourself in-house, if you don't mind my asking?
Yes, we do that in-house.
Yeah, interesting. Tell us some successes and mistakes that you've done. That you've made. I know I've made my share of mistakes over the years. What have you done wrong that you wish you could have done differently for the benefit of our listeners just starting out?
That's a good question. When we started off, we were very focused on streamlining our product line, mostly because we started small and we really had to. And then a few years in, we decided to branch out, still under the umbrella of Christmas, but just to have a more diverse amount of Christmas offerings. We thought it would be a natural step for our business to go in. And as it turns out, that was really a mistake for us. It drew our focus away from Yonder Star's primary product line, which is nativity scenes. And, for example, ornaments. We began stocking Christmas ornaments, which, as I said before, seemed like a natural step for a Christmas business. And after we went off into that direction, we found that to be in the Christmas ornament market, there is just an enormous breadth of options out there for what you would stock. And to be able to predict what your customer is going to want in this enormous ballpark of Christmas ornaments really proved extremely difficult, and that it would be the kind of thing that we would need to open up a completely different branch of our business to really give proper attention to. So we decided to learn from that mistake and to refocus on streamlining what our offerings were, and that when we determined to offer a product, for example, Advent calendars, we did branch off into Advent calendars, but we tackled it knowing that we really wanted and needed to offer an extensive selection, that if we were to choose a new avenue under the Christmas umbrella to approach, that it would be something that we could really give proper attention to, and not to just kind of make it a little throw-in thing, such as ornaments. That,
That makes sense.
Oh, good.
Cynthia, you've been doing this for 9 years. We don't speak to a lot of merchants who's been online as long as you have, certainly selling products online as long as you have. Any advice that you have for other merchants that are listening, merchants starting out or merchants that might be struggling with their business? You've been doing it almost a decade. What would you tell them?
We find that something that really keeps customers coming back to us is our ability to provide quality service, to provide personalized service whenever possible. The Internet, I believe, is really the re-advent of the mom-and-pop business, that a lot of mom-and-pop businesses, such as ours, have found footing for now on the Internet. And a lot of customers out there really seem to miss the personalized attention that a shop such as a mom-and-pop would bring to them, where you know your customer knows you. Many of our repeat customers we're on first name basis with. They send us Christmas cards or photos of their nativity displays, and we all really appreciate seeing that. And just to let your customer know that there are real people on the other side, processing your order, packing your order, any way that you can think to work that into your business. It has really shown us that our customers really appreciate that type of attention.
That makes sense. Well, that's all the time we have today. And Cynthia Snyder, I want to thank you for your time. Let me say your URL once more. That's YonderStar.com, YonderStar, YonderStar.com. And Cynthia Snyder, thank you so much.
Thank you.